Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Raihat Nikmah. I'm from class TBEI. Today I would like to tell about current teaching methodology in listening. Listening is one of the most important skills. As we know, listening is skill of understanding spoken language. According to Howard and Deakin, listening is the ability to identify and understand what others are saying. This process involves understanding a speaker accent or pronunciation, the speaker grammar and vocabulary, and comprehension of meaning. The skill of listening is an essential part of communication and a basis for second language learning. Everyone wants to learn English well should be able to master listening as one of the English skills. By studying listening skill, people can improve their English better than before. Listening has also a role in speaking, because people will be able to give response after they listen to speaker. Listening is an active and interactional process in which a listener receives spoken sound and tries to attach meaning to the spoken word. The listener tries to understand the intended message for the oral text to respond effectively to oral communication. Listening is the process of receiving, constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken. At least, in teaching listening now plays a much more prominent role. University attended exam, school living, and other examination have been to include a language learning component. Acknowledge that listening proficiency is an important aspect of second language proficiency, and if isn't test, teacher won't pay attention to it. An early view of listening saw is it as the mastery of decreased skill. How to teach listening? Bringing listening into the classroom, we have to remember that our listeners are performing this work in second language. This means that there is automatically more strain of their listening brain, more language work to be done, and often confidence issue in weaker listener as the message flies past from the speakers. This important consideration means that we have to cover listening activity in most situations where students will be hearing something for the first time. Teaching listening. Teaching listening is one of the most difficult tasks for a teacher. This because successful listening skills are acquired over time and with lots of practice. It is frustrating for students because there are no rules like in grammar teaching. This is not to say there are not ways of improving listening skill. However, they are difficult to quantify. Teaching of listening can be done with various techniques, such as the use of type recorder, with various techniques answer questions according to the text, reviewing song, listening to television by watching video movie clips or CD-ROM, listening to the radio, and using dictation, and etc. The teacher attempts to use an appropriate technique to make the student understand more about their lesson, and they can use it for producing other skills in English such as speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, next I want to tell about several techniques in teaching listening skill. In teaching listening English skill, there are several techniques can we apply. The first is information transfer. To apply this technique, the English teacher use 6 pictures as media. Second is paraphrasing and translating. This technique includes in post-listening activities where students rewrite the listening text in different words using their own words. Third, answering questions. This technique includes in post-listening activities where students answer 5 questions based on the dialogue that had listened from the cassette, and then correct together in class to know the right answer. 4. Summarizing. This technique includes in post-listening activities where students were given several possible summarized sentences and asked to say which of them fit a record text. 5. Filling in the blank. This technique includes in will listening active where students were given the transcript of a passage or a dialogue with some words missing and must fill in the blank while listening. And the last is answering to show comprehension of message. This technique includes in post-listening activities where teacher asks the student to give tick or cross to indicate with words the correct answer from the 4 choices A, B, C, and D for the question about monologue they had listened for the cassette. Next, about teaching methodology in listening. The first is teaching listening through audio-lingual methods, and the second is teaching listening through audio segment. The first is teaching listening through audio-lingual method. The audio-lingual method is a method which was introduced in the United States of America. Technically, the method was supported by tape recording and language laboratories. Theoretically, the method was based on the finding of the structural linguists who developed a psychology and philosophy of language learning different from traditional methods. In the audio-lingual method, lingual learners are prepared with the knowledge and skill required for active communication in a foreign language. The language learners are also helped to understand the foreign people whose language they are learning and the culture of the foreign people. Audio-lingual methodology does provide comprehensively input. The dialogue and pattern practice are certainly understandable by most students. Although some theorists have said that in early part of a lesson actual comprehension, it's not necessary that purely mechanical drill is useful. When using audio-lingual method in the class, lingual learning is a process of habit make our class as comfortable as we could to present to good condition to support the process of learning. The second is teaching listening through audio segment. You can also teach listening skill through audio segment of radio program, online podcast, instruction, lecture, and other audio message. You should model this interactive listening process in class with your student and then instruct them to repeat the exercise on their own. First, instruct students to prepare for listening by considering anything that they will want to learn from the context of the audio segment. Once they have written down or share their idea, then play the audio segment, allowing the student to take notes if helpful. Once they have gained confidence and experience, repeat this activity but instruct students to not take notes until the complete of the audio segment. You can use shorter or longer audio segment, and you can choose more accessible or more challenging material for this type of exercise. That's all for me. Thank you for nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.